Speaking of set from heaven, Shelly Speaks Politics is in the building. Shelly Speaks Politics. How are you, Shelly? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Terrible Tantrum Tuesdays.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing pretty well this morning.
Let me ask you a
And
question
hmm
before you even get going. How you liking that vibe this morning? I know it's it's kind of a throwback thing, and people normally get throwback things on Thursdays, and it's Tuesday, and I know I'm really not in the key, but at the same time, I'm trying to think. How you like it?
well, I'm personally loving it.
You liking it? That's good. That's
that's
good. That's
that's
good.
my vibe right there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Also, it don't matter what day, what time, what day of the week. That's your.
It sure does not. Not to me.
So you a
I'm definitely enjoying the vibe.
so you a boomer to the heart then.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna claim that one because when it comes to that music, I'll be a boomer. I'll definitely take that.
What do you got for us today? What do you got for us today?
Okay, I felt like this particular story was a pretty interesting one, and I felt that I needed to mention it to our viewers. So Facebook, as everyone knows, Facebook has been going on a spree where they have been blocking particular content, and political content is really has really been at the center of being blocked and having issues with Facebook. But recently, this article that I came across, it stated that Facebook was unintentionally blocking ads in support of the vaccine because it was being filtered out as political content. Now, Facebook was blocking anti-vaccine information, stating that people who are anti-vax were spreading misinformation about the vaccines on Facebook. So, in an effort for them to go ahead and try and quell that a little bit, they have been blocking information about vaccines that they deem to be misinformation. They've been blocking certain political ads, and in the process of that, the ads that were pro-vaccine have been getting blocked as well. So people are upset about it because some of these ads that were blocked, these ads have already been paid for, and these were ads that were these were ads that were from faith-based organizations, different cities, and healthcare professionals. Now, some healthcare professionals are saying they don't see Facebook as a viable source to spread information about the vaccines anymore because their ads are getting blocked. Now, Facebook is saying that they can appeal it, but a lot of these people are saying they don't have the time to do this because it is too time consuming to get the block overturned, and they are trying to distribute vaccines. They are trying to get the word out to tell people where to come and get vaccines. So it's a very big headache for these healthcare professionals and these different organizations that is trying to get people vaccinated. And they're pro-vaccine and they're being caught up in the crosshairs of Facebook trying to filter out the anti-vaccine information. I found this to be extremely interesting because I remember in past a few past segments here on the show where we were talking about censorship and how people seem to be okay with the censorship because it was not happening to them. And as we can see right now, a prime example of how censorship works. Now, even though this was unintentional, Facebook says it was unintentional on their behalf to block these vaccine ads. When you censor, this is what tends to happen. Now, Facebook wants people to know about where to get the vaccines, but they don't want people who oppose vaccines to get their word out. And as a result of that, the people that want to get the information out to the public, they are being blocked as well. And
I find this so hilarious. I honestly find this like you can't make this shit up. you so it's a little bit more. One of the things that you didn't touch on in your story is that um it's not humans that are doing the blocking. So
Well, yeah, I mean, it's filtered out and it's automatically streamlined and sent to Facebook's political, I guess their filter for political stories.
well, it's a little
And
bit
then,
more than that. It's a little bit more than that, Charles. It's algorithms. So if you could think of these algorithms as like little bots, little crawling spiders or whatever, you think of little electronic spiders, and they run around Facebook looking for things that say things that they don't want, like COVID-19 vaccine, and this vaccine, things that they are trying to get down. These little bots runner are looking for them constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and these things move way faster than humans can possibly do. So, process this information. So what happens is, because people are, when they start blocking these people, these bots, these algorithms, and they get smarter. So they they start working, and they start looking for these keywords and these little triggers to trigger them, and to send it to the filter, like you're saying. But then people start getting smarter and start altering the way that they're trying to put their information as. So as the people are getting smarter, the algorithms are now learning what the people are doing. So in all the chaos is, here's our results. I find this so funny, Shelley.
well, the people, the healthcare professionals, the city officials, and these faith-based organizations, they do not find this funny
I'm
one
sure they
bit.
don't. I'm sure they don't.
Because these are ads, like I said, that have already been paid for. And I'm gonna be somewhat fair about this. There's people that really do trust the vaccines. There's people that really do feel like the vaccines will curb the COVID virus.
Sure.
So, I'm not going to fault them for trying to tell people where they can get vaccinated, give information about the vaccines.
Hmm.
But, it's funny because, I can't say for sure, but I feel that some of these people, they probably were okay with the anti-vaxxers not being able to spread their information.
Listen, listen, listen. Everybody's okay with the other person's information being blocked. Everybody's okay with it. You're not normal to where you're sitting here and you're like, okay, let's look at both sides of this, and let's take the emotions out of it, and forget what I feel. Let me just look at the facts and look at both sides of the facts. Most people aren't doing it, but.
you know and it's not that I want to laugh, but I just find this to be very crazy. It's kind of ironic that people were championed for those who wanted to let people know of the potential risk of vaccines. Everyone was cool with that. They were cool with them being taken down, censored, blocked, shouted down. And now that the tables have turned a little bit, these people are questioning Facebook. They are questioning if Facebook is a viable source to get information out there.
Shout outs to Professor Vinny, because he used to always say a thing. He used to, like, every other couple sentences you would hear Vinny say, "The pendulum swings both ways," and it's funny because this is not the only thing. You remember recently we just had a whole president get blocked, and half of America was cheering for that.
Hmm.
Half of America was cheering for that. Regardless of what you feel about the president, wait till it's your turn. It's okay when what you're saying is accepted, but what happens when the narrative changes and what you're saying is no longer accepted? You see, what you say don't have to change, but the narrative changes. The pendulum gonna swing. The pendulum will swing. I remember way back in the day when they was blocking Two Life Crew. What's it called? Banned in the USA. What's his name? Luke.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole set of the people. The same people that would be upset, that was upset about Donald Trump, didn't give a damn about what was going on back then with Luke. They didn't give a shit. But see, the pendulum always swings.
Right.
It doesn't stop. But
It's true. It's true. And this is where we are. But on the other side of that, it was very ironic to me that Facebook quickly reposted some ads from the CDC. And people were a little bit upset about that. Like, they didn't have to go through that whole process. Their ads were restored, the
oh,
CDC.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because that's the narrative. That's the narrative. But when the narrative changes, then yeah, man, people. I don't know. I don't know people. I don't know. I really don't know. What I know is just build. Just keep building. That's that's my answer. Just keep building. Like, you don't like it, you got to build.
Yeah, that's another thing that I think that you do stress a lot, and it's very important that people begin to build their own platforms. If what you are saying is going to be filtered out by these these companies, these companies that feel like they're too big to fail, the Facebooks of the world, Twitter, and so on. Start doing for yourself, start building for yourself,
It's
because that's the only way you're going to be able to get your message out there without all the pushback.
it's funny you
But
mentioned that. It's real funny you mentioned that because that goes very deep, Shells. It's not easy to do that. Like, I'm really glad you brought it up because so the most people, when you think about getting your message blocked, right? You think about, okay, well, if I say something on Facebook, they're gonna block me. So let me just jump over to Parlor. You know what I mean? And then Parlor, you're saying, okay, I'm cool over here. But what happens when Parlor's rules and regulations changes, right? Because that's not yours. That's Parlor's rules and regulations, right? Same thing with YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and Vimo and all these other platforms. Now, what what this whole organization is based on is giving people back that control of their own to say, hey, listen, but people don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you start doing things and you're doing things and you're offering things to people and people don't realize what you're offering them. You know what I mean? Because everybody's comfortable. YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and everybody has made it very easy for you to just go put your content up on their platform. But you got to play by their rules. You're in my house now. You got to play by my rules. We're showing everyone, hey, listen, between buhosting.com and urbancountryfilms.com, we're giving everyone your own platform. Here, what we're telling is take back your control. Take control of your own website, take control of your own content, and do what you please with it, and send it out to who you want to send it out to. But that sounds so grand to people. Like, how am I going to make my own Facebook? You know, how am I going to make my own Instagram? How am I going to make my We've made it very, very simple for everyone. Go to Shelly's website. Shelly. Go to Shelly's website at Shelly Speaks Truth at urbancountryfilms.com. Go to Let's Talk Freedom at urbancountryfilms.com. Go to Solution. I would say go to Solutions, but Solutions is working on their website right now. But you go to all of these different websites, and you understand that these people have control over their own content. They can do their own advertising how they please. They can put out their content as they please. Now the videos every single morning, I'm putting in a little video on YouTube. It's getting flagged right away. It's getting flagged right away. Flagged right away. Flagged right away. I don't even care. I don't even care because here's my thing. You guys been using me and you guys been using so many other people to keep people on your platform so you can mine information and all these other things. You know, But people don't understand, but it's coming to a head. It's really coming to a head where people are going to start to really see what's going on and see the need for what we've created.
Yeah, I think that the time is definitely coming to where, the most simple thing that you say on your platform, it's being blocked, or you're getting all types of warnings. If you say this again, you're going to be taken down.
Didn't you
And
get one
it's
of those yesterday or something like that recently?
yeah, I got one on Twitter and Facebook.
On Twitter and Facebook?
Actually, on Twitter, I had to delete my tweet because I
Wow.
was told
You?
it went against community standards.
Because you speak truth.
um,
No, but I mean, honestly, if you think about it, I've really, you're the type of person where you try to look at both sides of things and you try to be completely fair about everything and you try to find the best in both sides of everything, or you know what I mean. Try to find the best in everything in general, I should say. Why the hell would you get blocked or had to take down or even a warning, even a slap on the wrist? Why, if you don't mind me asking?
well, I stated my opinion about something. It was a story of a woman, and I guess I can do my little tantrum since this is Tantrum
It
Tuesday,
is
right?
Tantrum Tuesday. Yeah, 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 yeah. Need a tantrum.
So there was a tweet that someone put up of a what's this other thing? We have so many social media. TikTok. There was
Okay.
a TikTok video that a black woman put up, and basically telling black people to change their names on their resumes in order to be, you know, in order to get ahead. Because she said it out of her mouth. She said when a resume comes across their desk and it has a Qua, Taniqua, Shaniqua, any name like that, they're being judged off of their name right off the bat.
I
This
believe that.
woman,
I
this
believe that.
woman admitted this on a TikTok video for the world to see, and she stated, if you have a nickname that is not as hood as your first name, put your initial to your first name and put your middle name in your last name.
Yeah. Yeah.
That outrage that that infuriated me.
Oh, but okay, so let's hear why.
It infuriated me because people always talk about how there is no structural racism in this country, and how people need to be judged by their character. And so my thing is, there's other cultures that have names that are extremely difficult to pronounce.
Hmm. It's
Um,
not. It's not. Okay, so I know what you're talking about. I honestly, I know what you're talking about, and this is not nothing new.
of course, it's not new.
You know, and not to knock any. Listen, your name is your name. People don't choose your name. You don't choose your name. You're born, and someone gives you your name. So it's quite sad that this is actually a thing, but it is a thing. It is a real thing. Once you hear one of those names one of those above names that you mentioned, you know where this person, you can say you know the type of area this person was brought up in, and
You can't
honestly,
say that.
but
You absolutely cannot say that.
I would like to see I would like to see it proven different. I would like to see, honestly, I would like to see something that shows me different, because I'm talking off of life's experiences, and I've lived all over the place. You know, I've been in and out of all kinds of places, and you know, entangled with all kinds of folks. Right now, when I'm talking about where you're born, I'm talking about the environment you're born in. I'm not talking about the environment that you are in as an adult. And like I said before, we don't choose our names. So it's quite sad that this is a thing.
So Sarah, who grew up in the trailer park with the meth lab next door, because her name is Sarah.
Hmm.
That you so her environment, that's the thing. You can't know a person's environment
No,
strictly
no,
based
no,
off
no,
their name.
no. You can't listen. We're not talking about
And
Sarah. Wait, 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 wait. We're not talking about Sarah though. You see, the thing is, the story is not about. Okay, so let's break it down. Like, if you want to peel back onions, let's peel back the onions. I don't know if you're ready for this morning. I don't know if y'all ready for this morning. If y'all listen, share the video. But if we go, if you want to, if you want to go into it, we can go into it. White privilege is a thing, regardless of
that's
how you.
why, okay,
But
I
listen, but let me finish. White privilege is a thing, regardless of how you or anyone else wants to look at it. And all you have to do in order to benefit from white privilege in America, I'm talking about America because this is where I have my adult this is where I have my adult experience at America. So, if you are born in white skin, you you benefit from white privilege. You don't have to agree with white privilege. You don't have to agree with white privilege. You don't have to you don't have to whether you agree with it. You don't have to actually support it. You don't have to do anything at all to benefit from it. All you got to do is just be born in white skin. Now, that is something that's not created for us as a people. Nobody's going to create that for us as a people other than us as a people. You see, when these people created white privilege, they knew Sarah in the trailer park with with the meth husband, the meth head husband. That she didn't deserve the freaking the white privilege. They knew that, but they wasn't gonna let that stop them from creating what they had to create, because the way it's set up, like I said, the way it's set up, they all you got to do is be born in the skin, and that's what we're looking at.
okay, but the point that I'm trying to make is people will deny that these things are happening. And when you have someone from an HR, from an HR team, a black person who is admitting that someone has to eliminate their cultural name. I don't care if you think it sounds hood. It's culture. It's culture. And for someone to have to denounce their culture, that is discrimination. Um, and it upset me that it was a black woman talking so callously about this, like it was something that we should be accepting, telling people that she's helping them.
Okay,
First of all, I'm sorry.
okay. So remember the other day when you were saying something? Actually, remember where you were saying something about on one of your shows. It wasn't on this show. It was on one of your shows on Shelly Speaks Truth. Shout out to your Sunday afternoon show at 5 o'clock. Shelly Speaks Truth. That's a great show. But on one of those shows, you were talking about taking the benefits of whatever benefits that this society has to offer, and in order to get what we need to create what we have to create on our own. This is kind of the same situation. If you But you have to take the feelings out of it in order to listen to, because what she's saying is not wrong. What she's saying is not wrong. Just because we ignore it doesn't mean that it's not a thing. I'm not saying that this is something that people should accept. I'm not saying that this is something that this is something that's right, but I am saying that this is something that is true. It definitely happens. Now, from my side of things, is what I'm saying is, hey, listen, because she said it, I'm gonna give her props for saying that, for saying to people, hey, listen, yeah, this is going on, and here's a
She's
solution to
definitely
it.
an idiot. She's definitely an idiot. And what she should have been doing was bringing this to the labor board to expose these people, because this is the thing:
Hey,
the people that want to exist in this system,
mhm.
they are going the same way they can raise hell about other things. I think it was Wells Fargo that got sued some years back because it was proven that they were discriminating against Hispanics and Black people um, with their loan practices. They got called out, they got sued, and that situation was rectified. Now they're going to be under a microscope because they don't want to face any more $200 million civil lawsuits for discrimination. So my point is this: why is it that we're always telling the victims to correct themselves and not calling out the victimizers and the people that is doing wrong? She's telling Black people that you need to shrink your identity in order to get this job. I don't agree with that. First of all, when someone's coming in for a job, you need to be looking at the skills on the resume. You need to be looking at their qualifications.
Okay, hold on.
Why the hell is their name so important?
I got a couple of things about it. I got a couple of things about that. First of all, who are you to tell me what about my hiring practice? Do you pay my bills? Are you signing the checks to my employees? No, you can't tell me how to go about my hiring practice. That's my hiring practice. I hire
Okay, it's the
how
law.
I want to
It's the
hire.
law. It is the law of the land that you cannot discriminate. I don't care if you're a private business, federal, whatever. You cannot discriminate against a culture of people. So that should
So
have
you're
been a
telling me that
law
doesn't
right
happen?
there.
And what? So regardless
And
of the
she
law, you're
don't
telling.
even,
Wait a
well, it's
minute.
a
Wait a
good
minute.
thing she didn't mention the company because that company needs to be dealt with.
Regardless of the law, you're telling me that this doesn't happen, and you think this is
Of
one.
course
Wait,
it
wait, wait a
happens.
minute. Do you think this
Of
is just
course it
one
happens.
company?
Of course it happens. I'm using this company because she was the idiot that was smart enough to get online and admit to it. Like I said, this is something that is being denied. People are not coming out in the open and saying, oh yeah, if Shaniqua comes in here, we're not going to hire her. No matter what, we're not going to hire her.
They're not
She could
saying
be
that.
the most
They're not
she could
saying.
be the most qualified person based off resumes. And because her name is something that we don't like or we feel is too ghetto, we're not going to consider her, or she'll be the last considered for the job.
Mhm.
That's absurd. And
It
she
is
got on
absurd.
camera and admitted it.
It is absurd, but it's reality. It's
Okay, that's
reality.
fine. But
And she
people,
got on camera,
people
admitted
mold
it,
and
saying
shape,
that it's
people
but
mold and
bringing.
shape reality all the time.
But here's
Okay.
my thing. Would we rather just not hear it and just act like it's not real?
I didn't say it's not real, and I didn't say that we shouldn't hear it. All I'm saying is that as a Black person, that woman should have been outraged. She seemed quite content with admitting that Black people are being discriminated against based on their names. She had no problem with that. And that's why
I
I
have no
got
problem
banned.
with
That is
admitting it.
why I got banned from Twitter for 12 hours because I went in and I stated my opinion. I said, as a Black person, if you're okay with this, you need to bury yourself in a hole. And I meant what I said, because you're sitting here and acting as if this is something that's okay instead of speaking
Bringing
out against
light
it
to
and saying
something
this is
doesn't mean
wrong.
that you're okay with it, though. Does it really? Because you're bringing light to
Yes,
it, that means you're okay
absolutely.
with it? So
Absolutely.
that means that we should just not say it. Just leave it over there in the corner and leave it
You
alone.
didn't see the video, so maybe you should watch it. She was quite content with it. She was quite content with it. The look on her face, she didn't look like she was saying this in a way where it was like, man, this is really messed up, but unfortunately, this is what's happening. No, she was talking about it like she was in agreement with it. And that's my problem that I had with her. And it is what it is. But as Black people, we're gonna have to open our eyes. This conversation, um, it didn't start off being about race, but it's definitely comes down to it. There are things that are happening in this country to us that we are sitting content with, and we shouldn't be. Now, it's one or two things that I feel like needs to happen. It's either you're going to build up your own companies so that your name won't be a blemish on your resume, or you're going to, if you're a person that feels like we're all Americans and we all need to be coexisting in different aspects of life, then you need to speak up for yourself and you need to stand up for yourself. And if you're not willing to do that, then don't complain. And that's just what I have to say about that. It's one or two things that are definitely going to need to happen. You're going to need to stand up for yourself and stop allowing this stuff to happen. Or what I'm a proponent for is build these companies so you can be who you are without having to fight to exist. And that's how I feel about it. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, if you got a problem with a company's hiring practice, you don't need to be working there.
No, a company can't discriminate. That's against the law. So if you do have a problem with it, go ahead and call the labor board and show them that TikTok video and let them know this is what's happening. If it's that much of an issue to you, that would
Hey,
be my
okay,
advice.
so here's the thing. That's white privilege. That's never going to be proven anywhere because it's not written down on paper
Oh,
anywhere.
it's
And
definitely
listen, wait a minute.
it has been proven. Yes, absolutely.
No, I'm talking about this incident right here that you're talking about with the Shaniqua name and the thing like that. Because this is not something that these are one of these things that are just an unspoken rule that these companies will go by. So you're not going to pinpoint it down. So this lady bringing that into attention and saying, "Hey, listen, this is not something that we're going to get around." So, hey, listen, do something to slide by and get in your door and then do what you got to do and get the hell out and build your own. I don't got no problem with that.
She's not advocating for anybody to build their own. She's advocating for people to be a second class citizen and shrink their existence.
Yeah.
This lady is not encouraging anybody to build anything.
I don't
And
know.
that's my
But it's
problem.
that's kind of like to me. So it's like almost an oxymoron because it's like the lady. It's like here's a problem, and here's a way to deal with the problem, so you can make yourself better financially or status or whatever the hell makes
I
somebody.
can't believe you're actually saying that. Like, I can't. I can't believe that you're actually saying that. And here's the thing. In this country, there was things that took place that was extreme discrimination
Yeah,
that are not taking place today because people raised their voices and they got it changed.
but just because
So don't make people feel as if there's nothing that can be done. It's not
no,
true.
I'm not making
If,
people
if
feel that.
you
I'm
if
not
it's
saying
something
that.
that
Wait,
you
wait, wait, wait,
want to
wait.
get done because you want to
Hey,
be
hey,
in
hey,
these
hey, hey,
companies,
hey,
then
hey,
do it.
hey. Listen, no, listen. I'm not telling you that there's nothing that you can be done. What I'm telling you is you're not going to change white privilege. You're not going to change white privilege. The only way to get ourselves out of that situation to not deal with white privilege is create black privilege. Only way.
I stand behind that 100%, but I
So,
don't stand
but
behind telling people to shrink their identity. So I guess the solution in
But it
all of
is, but you've,
going to
but
be,
on the same speech though, Shells. But that, see, that's I guess that's where you draw the line because, like I just said on your show, you were telling people that we take what we can from the government while they're giving it, so we can use that to build our own. And I was trying to say that, hey, listen, be careful with that because right now the government are trying to sedate the people and trying to make the people dependent on them.
I mean, getting a job is not being dependent on the government.
No,
You're
but it's the same. It's
going
the
to
same
work
kind of. It's the same kind of thing where the lady is saying, "Hey, listen." I think what the lady is saying is, hey, if you want that position that pays better, if you want that position and that you're getting blocked out of, here's one of the ways that you're getting blocked out of it. So you can alter this. Put your middle name as the initial. Put your first name as the initial, and put your middle name as the front, and you'll alter that. It's like when you have a phone interview, you have a interview voice. You don't speak the same way. Man, I get pan the rascal interview and I talk to the people them that. So when I get on the phone with an interview person, I'm speaking in with the proper etiquette, proper phone
Okay, so
etiquette, or
because I
proper.
don't speak slang on an interview, that somehow means that I need to erase my identity. I
No, 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 no,
don't
no. See,
understand the
that's what I'm
word.
saying. That's the feelings part of it. That's the
It's
feel.
not a feelings part of it. That's a logical question.
No, you see, no, right, because you're saying erase my identity. I'm not saying erase. Nobody's saying erase your identity. What we're saying is here's a way to get around a situation you otherwise won't get around because you're
You know
not going to
how many
change it.
people were
It's not
told, you know
written.
how many people were told that things wouldn't happen that have happened? This is my thing.
How are
You know,
you going to
black
change? Like,
people, no, no. This is my thing. Black people put all their energy and focus into things that you don't hold much weight. Now, getting a job and being able to take care of yourself is important. And I feel like, if they fought hard enough for it because it meant that much to them to not have their names erased, then they could get that done. I really feel like they could
who are
get
you
it
going to
done.
fight? Because first of all, in order to fight, you need to first off you need to find your enemy. Who are you fighting? Who's the enemy?
People who discriminate.
How do you know
Every
who's
company is not out here discriminating against black people for their names. Every company isn't doing that. That's the first thing. Secondly, everybody in government
no, but what
um,
I'm saying is, how are you going to
does
prove the
not agree
ones?
with
How are you going to
people
find
being
the ones?
discriminated against.
But how are you going to find the ones that are doing it so you can change it? How are you going to fight? You cannot fight an enemy you can't see.
What are you talking about? There's
How?
enough black people. There is
No.
enough
But
black
how? Okay,
people.
so pinpoint one of the companies. Like I said, this video that we're talking about. Pinpoint one of the companies that's doing this.
Well, you have to do the research on it.
Okay,
There is.
let's follow up.
She didn't.
Honestly,
She
let's follow
didn't.
up.
She didn't mention her company's name in the video,
Of course
obviously,
not.
because she's content with that. Like I said, there needs to be some whistleblowers. She was quite okay with getting up there telling people to change their names because your black identity is being used is a
I
problem.
get what you're
But
saying.
she could have equally been a whistleblower. I'm tired of people in general. I really am. I'm tired of them choosing to do the wrong thing over the right thing. And that's why we are where we are. But I gotta go.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this segment of Shelly Speaks Politics. That kind of went over into something else, but that was my tantrum for this Tuesday. You guys can follow me on Twitter if I'm back up. Follow me on Twitter at Shelly Speaks Truth. Facebook, Shelly Speaks Truth, of course, right here on Urban Country Films. And I will see everyone tomorrow.